Hi, Peter Hayden here, and I help guide organisations in unlocking the potential of data, analytics and AI within the Microsoft ecosystem. And in today's video, I wanted to touch on advice I give to my clients around how to get started with things like Power BI, Microsoft Fabric, and it even applies to AI applications, and that's building an MVP. So a minimum viable product. And when we talk about what a minimum viable product is, essentially it is the smallest amount of something, features, might be a simple report, minimum amount of data to bring together for a number of reasons. And so I wanted to cover off, I guess, the top 3 reasons that I recommend. This is a great way to get started, especially with things like reporting, building apps, and AI, and so forth. So it's any situation where you might need to be doing something new or different. In all the cases, especially in the analytics space where I operate, there are organisations that usually have nothing. That still happens. And there's also organisations that have legacy systems. So they might be familiar with some of the avenues around, say, reporting, but it's locked away in other systems, or old systems that don't work well. So something like Power BI or Microsoft Fabric might be very new. So they're going to be able to, for 3 reasons, this really helps build momentum. In fact, that is part of number 1, is around how do we help learn about an application. Now, I'll speak about Power BI because it's probably the most common one I've been dealing with the last few years. So by developing an MVP, going through an experience in a structured way to learn something about how Power BI works. And that's where, by doing that, it helps on that learning journey to drive that, as I said before, momentum to get going. Rather than thinking very big picture, which happens a lot, where rather than thinking small to get started and get that practice built, people try and think about big term, long picture, and think about these. How do we do this end to end? In fact, we think of small, learn fast. Take this lean ideology, that learn fast, fail fast. That's a great way to start an MVP. So you can learn really quickly, not think too big picture. In fact, there'll probably be mistakes that will likely be made as you go forward with that. But that's okay because you haven't invested. I guess will be number 2 is a lot of time. So the other reason why I really like MVPs is we can reduce the time it takes to get something done. And so all the time you want to reduce the time is sometimes you actually need to make a decision. So by having a small runway to be able to develop an MVP outcome, and that's very important because there is an outcome associated with MVP, is to get to a point of decision making. So it might be around further investment, it might be about purchasing a license, it might be hiring people, engaging third parties, and so keeping a short amount of time on that helps then build things like a business case or the decision needs to be made. The other reason why having a small amount of time and constricting that is that if you then do have some sort of cost associated to it, right? So whether you are needing to make using a third party or a service provider to assist, you don't need to spend months and months and months or years on that project. You can start something really small, days or weeks. It might be around licensing. You might have a trial license, for example, if we're going to commit to going big into investing in licensing. So that's why MVP is good, because it reduces the time to the overall cost to get that done, and then also helps you to make a decision around further investment. And by doing that, the other big key thing here, which is tied to decision making, is you have demonstrable value. So I'm just going to demo the value here. Now, when you demo the value, this is to people who might be key stakeholders. So it might be, let's just take again analytics type of view, might be to a finance team to show how something can be done. It might be to the CFO, who also is there maybe a decision maker. So again, these two are tied, time and demonstrating value. But if you can get something that's demonstrable, that helps link the key people who will then help go beyond the MVP, that helps, I guess, reduce any concerns, reduces perceived risk that doing this is going to be, sometimes a waste of time or waste of effort and investment. And everyone's concerned about where they put their dollars and time. And so going the MVP approach helps demonstrate the value in a short amount of time and lets you learn something about it to then make decisions around beyond the MVP. So it's a really useful way to think about how you approach your next project, but it particularly works well with analytics, works well with AI as well. And that's it for today's video. Be sure to like it if you found this useful. It helps me understand things you're interested in. And be sure to reach out and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to continue following me for further videos.